All right. So medical codes, these can be done at the district level for consistency purposes or at building level to be able to customize a building, or you could do everything at the district level and have a couple of customizations within a building as well. But in the end, it's all the same. But to put it at the district level, you need to make sure that you have the district in context. I am using a demo database, just so that you're aware of that. And we're going to first go into the health log reason. And this is where we're going to add the symptoms for COVID and also a health log reason of confirmed case. So you can see the confirmed case here. I've added several on here already, but I'm going to go ahead and add the last one on here so you can see how to add a health log reason. So I'm going to click on the green add reason code. So I have to give it a code, and you can only use 4 digits, up to 4 digits, and then you give it a name. You don't have to do a description, but if you wanted to, you could. I think that's pretty self-explanatory there. Also, if you, like when you're in a student's health log, these are listed out, and they're listed in alphabetical order of their code. So if you want them in alphabetical, you need to do that with the code. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And the reason I said the alphabetical is somebody asked me about it, actually just earlier today. But if I was just to put in CV1 and then CV10 and then CV2, the CV would go in CV1, CV10, CV2 instead of CV2, CV1, CV2, CV10. So just if you're going to do 2 digits, like a lot of people do, you can put in like 01 would be better than putting in just 1. Just want to throw that out there. If I want to inactivate or delete, which is kind of the same thing, a code that is already in here, I can click on the delete. It's going to say, are you sure you want to deactivate the following health log reason? I say, okay. And it's not truly gone until next year when it rolls over in SYI, but I can hit show, uncheck show active only, and that bloody nose is still in there. And for me to reactivate it, I click on the pencil, check is active, and hit save. And that pencil is good for editing any information too. So maybe I want to change up a code or change up a name. I can do that as well. And then just hit save. So I got these different, sorry, I had a little cough on me. I got these symptoms off of the CDC website. So just so you know, that's how I came up with all of these. I didn't just like make them up myself. I got them off of the CDC website. I do have one that's called confirmed case, and then these are all of the different related to COVID symptoms. If I go back out to medical office administration, if you're going to give any kind of care to students that come in with these symptoms, you might want to do a care type code. And that's simply used by just on care type codes. And here's the care type codes that are already in here. But again, just to add one, I hit add. I'm going to do ice. And then I just hit save, or I can hit save and new and go on to my new care type. So if I hit save and new, I can add a new one right away. And then I hit save, and both of those are on there. Same thing with the edit. I can edit a record, and instead of clicking the garbage can to make it inactive, I can always just uncheck this box and hit save, and now that antibiotic is inactive. Again, uncheck show active only, and I can see that that antibiotic appointment is still there for me to reactivate if I want. It is yellow, so it shows inactive. Obviously, when it's active, it's green. And I'm going to come back out to the medical office administration area, and I'm going to go into disposition codes. And I think it's a good idea to do the disposition codes, especially for the COVID, because it'll make it easier to run your report of COVID cases. You just have to remember that that has to be entered on the health log for you to be able to pull the report like that. But I already have one in here for COVID symptoms, and I'm going to add a disposition code for COVID confirmed. I'm going to hit add disposition code. Again, I have the save and new option, so I can keep adding if I have more to add, and hit save. Some other disposition codes that they have in here is just like emergency, going home, parent note, refer. And I forgot to put in a description, so I can click that edit box. And then I have that in here as well. Any questions so far? So if you're going to be adding these in, and this goes, so like I said earlier, a lot of districts are already using this, and other things that you can put in there are immunizations, common immunizations, and common medications. I'm not going to touch base on that today, just because the majority of you are already using this to log when kids are coming into the clinics. So if you need more training on the medical office, of course, put in a ticket, and any of our team members can help you with that. I am going to show you how to set defaults for when you are entering information into the health log. I have to be at a building level, so I'm going to go to the middle school. Then my menu, I'm going to go to SIS, medical, and student medical default. So I can do growth screenings, and if I want to set a default blood pressure, I can. Health log defaults. So I'm going to put in, you might have clinic on here on yours, or nurse's office. So you would put like clinic, and then the default care by. So I'm going to put in, I think, Alexander Barrett. I can also do hearing screenings, and I can do the defaults for that. Scoliosis screening and vision screening. So right now I'm just focusing on this area, and I'm going to hit save. And it has been saved. So the next step that I have, now that I have the medical default, is maintaining student medical alerts. So you don't have to use alerts for this COVID thing, but I just want to put that as an option in here that you could use medical alerts. And medical alerts are done through the student menu. So you're going to go to this, student, medical, and then medical alerts. I need to bring up a student. So you can see that this student already has a medical alert because it's up here next to their name. If this student had a life-threatening alert, I'm going to just make this one life-threatening, even though headaches really aren't life-threatening, though at times they can feel that way. I just check the box, hit save. And now when I find this student again, you can see that I now have a life-threatening medical alert. That's not that they have two medical alerts, they have a medical alert that is life-threatening. I'm going to show you how to add one. So you have your different priorities. You can put in a start date and an end date. What's nice about this, like say for example, because teachers typically do see medical alerts, so be careful what you put in there. To say a student's on antibiotics for the next couple of weeks, you could actually have a start date and an end date of a medical alert. And once that date ends, like they're finished with their antibiotics, say 2 weeks from now, that will automatically close out any medical alerts that are, since that you don't have any active ones. But if you have an ongoing condition, like they're allergic to bees, that kind of stuff, you don't have to put a start and end date on that. And then you would just put in medical alert condition. And then you can have private notes down here, notes that only people with medical access in student information can see. And make it life-threatening or not life-threatening. So that, to me, allergic to these things, using an EpiPen is an emergency. So Missy is saying she has no sound, so I am going to chat back to Missy real quick. Any questions so far? Haven't seen any. All right. I did do this for an hour, and last time I finished up within like 30 minutes or so. So I like to rather overshoot than undershoot. All right, so now I want to add a health log for Laurie Abbott. There's two ways that I can get there. I can get there through the student medical and then going health log. But say that I am not on that and I'm out here and I just have her name and contact. And instead of remembering where I'm looking for that at, I can use the I want to menu next to her name up here. And then hit view the medical health log. And that'll take me directly to her health log. So as you can see, she already has an entry in here. So those entries can be deleted. This just gives you like a little rundown of what that visit looks like. And a pencil to edit the record. I can do show visits from all years. I don't, so there was one in there for, I guess, another school year here, and for the, well, that would be the 1920. This is weird, it's a demo database, but it would show from previous school years. So I'm going to go ahead and hit add entry. The date of the visit, it automatically comes up with today's date, but if you need to backdate anything, if I can use the calendar picker and pick a date. If it happened yesterday, I can simply click the down arrow and it'll do yesterday's date. Or if I do Friday, I can click down a few times and get to it. If I need today's date, again, I just click T for today. Or I can manually enter in the date. The reason these are pre-populated by the system, they can't be changed. It's not a required field. When looking at districts, most of them aren't using this, but you can if you would like. The time in automatically defaults to now when you opened it. So if you need to back time it, you can enter the time in. Let's say she came in at 9 o'clock. You can use military time. Say she came in at 1 o'clock. If I put in 1300, it'll show up 1 o'clock. Or I can use the time picker so it shows on the hour first. Scroll this down a little bit. So I can say that she was out at 1, and then it goes to the minutes, 15, and then I have to choose AM or PM, and then done. So whichever way you want to do that, that's fine. A time in is required, timeout is not. Paired by, as you can see, my default worked for Alexander, but if I am, say the nurse is out for the day and somebody else is entering the information in, they can choose their name from there too. So there is a drop down for it. And then here are my reasons that I typed in. So I can just come in here and I can say, oh, the head fever, cough, headache, and muscle aches. So I can choose as many as I want. One of the reasons I did the codes very similar was just to kind of keep them all together. I have this one confirmed COVID-19 case as well. You can type in some reasons if you would like. Here's that location that I set up the default for. So if I didn't set up the default, it'd be blank and I'd have to choose. I can record temperatures here. So if your district is taking temperatures of students every day and you want to keep track of the students who have had temperatures, you could have some sort of method of entering that information in just by putting like COVID fever and then putting their temperature in. If you contacted a parent or a guardian, here's that disposition. So I'm going to say symptoms since it wasn't a confirmed case. And that's just really going to help me do a report a little bit quicker. And here are my care given. So if I said I gave the student some ice or some medications, I can choose as many as I want there as well. Here are some more comments that I can use. Notes sent home, notes sent to the teacher, accident report, those kind of things. And then once I have all of that filled out, I just simply click save. And now, excuse me, I have that information in here in the system. So if I had comments, you can see that they would come up here. Here's my reasons. They come in by the codes. if I want to view the details of that, I can actually see what those codes come up to be, the temperature, the location, all that good stuff. I'm going to return to the health log. Any questions on entering the information into a health log? Okay. And then I have one last thing, and that's the report so that you can pull this information out. So that is back under here under SIS medical reports, and then the daily health log. So I'm going to have my date ranges in here. I can pull over all of my COVID reasons. I can do one at a time, or I can scroll till I hit the last one with my shift button down and then click the last one. And as you can see, it selects all of them and then hit this and they're all over. So it's only going to pull a report with health log reasons of these cases. Or instead of doing that, if I know that the disposition code is being filled out, I can just say I want anybody with disposition of confirmed cases and symptoms. And then I don't have to try to pull out all of those different reasons. So once I have that, I just hit submit. And this report's not going to run in demo. Unfortunately, it doesn't work, but I do have a screenshot of that, what it looks like. I pulled it from another district, so I did blur out names. Let me bring that down into view for you. So basically, it would have the student ID, the student name, gender, grade, that date of care, time and time out. Here's the reasons here, and any kind of comments that they had. If they had any type of care, it would be in here. That temperature reading is on the report. The disposition is on the report, and who the care is given by. So those are the different reports, or the different columns that are on that report. So you would be able to have like a report just with the COVID cases and symptoms that you've had, so that you can keep track of that. There has not been anything handed down from the state saying that we're reporting these. The reason for my training is I've had a couple people call and ask about recording temperatures, and had it's just a way for you as a district basically to be able to gather that information to kind of see if you have issues going on and just kind of keep track of that kind of stuff. So if I don't have any questions, that's the end of the presentation for today. Again, I am recording this, so I will put it out on our YouTube channel later on today so that people can look at it and review it later and be able to access that. So with that being said, since I'm not seeing any questions popping up, I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting. And I hope you all have a great day. And like I said, if you guys need more training, feel free to put in a ticket, and we'll be glad to do a training for you guys. Thank you.